Hello and welcome to part number 2 of my time wasted with Persona 5. Go watch part 1 to understand where we are and what the hell's going on with this series. Let's just dive right into May with some existential dread and beam chin-ups. Hopefully this building is sound. But for the main event, the school assembly, the principal starts his speech about not killing yourself when Kamoshida comes in, gets on stage and admits everything.
Huh? What's wrong with Mr. Kamoshida? What's this about?
Confess? Did the volleyball team do something?
I have repeatedly done things that were unbecoming of a teacher. Verbally abusing students, physically abusing my team, and sexually harassing female students.
Side note, assault, not harassment. Like the fuck.
I am the reason why Shiho Suzui tried to kill herself.
He falls onto his knees, seemingly truly seeing the horror and pain he has caused, and vows to kill himself over it.
Really? Physical abuse?
I thought of the school as my own castle. There were even students that I sentenced to expulsion, simply because I didn't like them.
Also, the principal's face in this moment is just perfect. Look at him.
I will, of course, rescind those. I am truly sorry for putting innocent youths through such horrible acts. I am an arrogant, shallow, and shameful person. No, I'm worse than that. I will take responsibility and kill myself for it.
Okay, while you deserve that, no, don't. Not in front of everyone.
What? Did he just say that?
Would kill himself?
The fucking principal, like, oh god, what the fuck?
Mr. Kamoshida, please get off the stage for now.
The faculty tries to get everybody out, but of course no one is listening to that. For now.
Everyone, return to your classes.
Don't run, you bastard! Shiho's still alive, even after all the things that made her want to die! You have no right to run from this!
You're right.
An is able to convince him not to kill himself, and he decides to just turn himself in. It's like he was possessed and we excise the demon out of him. But he feels he must pay for what happened, which he should, and I'm trying to make an analogy, or is it a metaphor? After the gym clears, we ponder with the crew on if this was truly right, which is foreshadowing for future shit we didn't get to because we fucked this game. Yeah, so watch the video of the story, then at this point I'm writing the script. Students apologizing for what they did under Kamoshida, also a random teacher yelling at us and just walks away without us leaving, like he said to, like, why are you here? Go, shoot. Anyways, to the rooftop, and now we know for sure how to change a heart without killing them. On comes in with good news, Shiho's awake. Everyone's sorry to each other for what happened, even though Morg is right and it's Kamoshida's fault. Shiho is likely to transfer schools due to everything that happened, you know, because high schoolers are fucking dicks. Maybe once she's recovered, we can give her a 50 cal and sentence Kamoshida to the firing squad. Man's an Olympian, I'm sure he can dodge a few bullets at range. Yes, there are fates worse than death, hence why torture is worse than murder. Why am I doing this accent? This always happens. Too bad existence is torture at this point. What was I talking about? Of course we don't get any, I'm trying to read this script, but I can't spell worth a damn. Recension? Because the idea of shadow thieves... Oh, recognition. God, I'm stupid. Recognition, because the idea of shadow thieves is just crazy. We must have tried to strong arm the guy. Can you see it? Like, this is broken English. I'm a native English speaker. God damn. Yeah, we must have tried to strong arm the guy who could pick both of us up and throw us. Anyways, now let's sell this metal before it turns into a figment of our imagination. And of course, we owe on money. Well, Ryuji does. Well, at least we get to celebrate with good food. Let's go home, do a crossword. Like I already just said, I can't spell worth a damn, so. I mean, if you look at all the incorrect words in the script, and there's a bunch of them, partly because I don't care. Some of it is just mistyping, other it's just me not using apostrophes, the rest of it's just me being dumb. new day, and fuck, time for work. Hey, Kamo's on the news. Full day wasted helping dad, and oh well, we got one more day to sell the metal, and geez, I hate this shit in games where the text option is different from how it reads. Like, out of the three, it sounds like the best, and the other two are whiny to me, but no, we get snapped at for it. Hey, it's the interrogation lady. Oh, great, it's interrogation time. Anyway, off to the gun shop to sell the metal, and he doesn't ask questions like a good Yakuza. He gives us a bag with something in it, and some glowies walk in. We get harassed by them, and to show them the drugs, and just like, nah, let's go, bye. Thank God there's the level-headed guy there to just let us go. Also, let's look in the bag like we were told not to, and of course it's a gun. Morg thinks it's a model, but then why would he want to hide it from the cops? That's my question. Anyway, let's get home, chat with Anne, and get ready for the celebration. Time for a celebration over a fancy buffet. We have a website? Who's running that?
These two just don't know what fine dining means. We'll show them.
Morg, fuck fine dining. This is a buffet. Chow the fuck down. Trying to get some food and overhear people talking about Kamoshida and then about us.
Oh, how did a child like this end up in here?
Also, fuck you, I paid for this. More gossip. I assume that it's meant to be foreshadowing for later, but well, you do want to get your money's worth at a buffet. Don't eat so much that you might barf. That's just rude to the staff.
My, look at that table.
Come now, pay them no attention. I'm sure they must not normally have the chance to eat such exquisite food.
I can only imagine what their parents must be like.
Rich assholes. Enough said. Oh, hey, look, it's the bald fuck from before. Apparently, according to my chat, it's fairly common to not recognize that guy. Quick, Ryuji, throw up on him. Okay, let's try to defuse the situation. Fuck it. No, my guts. He's at least bold to say that. And again, I do not feel like I've had enough time or opportunities to get my guts to a point where I could actually ever pass that check. Maybe I did, I just don't like being locked out of shit like that just feels arbitrary. It's like in Fallout New Vegas, you level up, you get to pick your skill points and what to put them into. This, it's not, and it just feels inferior to me. That's just me. Did I mention I was kind of tricked into playing this visual novel? Anyway, pep talk with the team about continuing to do this type of stuff. Now for an introduction onto our next target.
Very well, I'll leave it at that. Let's continue on. The questioning's not over anyway. If you are making this up, the cracks in your story will prove it. The next to receive a calling card was this individual, a master of Japanese arts, Ichiryusai Madarame. It's even more incomprehensible than Kamoshida as to why this man was targeted. Where did you come to know him? And how did you learn of his crimes when you weren't a victim of them? Start by telling me what you all schemed.
Talk to Igor, says we're doing well. Insert plot relevant learning here. Yapping about trying to find the painter guy while the principal sends somebody to spy on us. No wonder he looks like the fucking penguin. Oh yeah, dodge chance. Yeah. Mishima, get out of my face before I kiss you. Also, thank you for making the website. At least now we have a place to find leads for hearts to change and such. Again, skill checks I don't feel like I could have reasonably passed. At least not without foreknowledge. People do reread books, so maybe they replay visual novels. Stop yelling at me. It's literally on the Steam tags. It is literally tagged as visual novel. Ryuji takes us to a gym, and dude, are you sure this is a gym and not like a gay club? Ikaide senpai, what's bonkin? What are you, the scout? Hans, play the clip.
Bonk!
Yeah, scout moments. Akita seems like a swell guy. Made a bad choice, but now he's owning up to it. Meanwhile, more pettiness from the other track team members. Track team is coming back, but it seems to be under new management, which is the same as the old management. God, this game actually does mirror real life really well at times. Oh, hell yeah. A key. Thanks, Dad. I'm gonna go talk to the Yakuza now. Oh, hell yeah. Free gun. Now let's go rob Big Bang Burger. Okay, wow, yeah, that's a big burger. And what does knowledge have to do with this? Like, are we soaking the bun in water like people do in hot dog eating contests? Anyways, back to class. Exams are soon. Chilling on the rooftops, talking about what we want to do next when the FBI agent comes in and tells us we can't be up here. Yeah, we ain't telling you nothing. But Mork right. We gotta go find a new place to hang out and gotta study some for the exams at some point. To the train station to learn about mementos, which is the collective subconscious of society. It's used to change hearts of people who are not deranged enough to have a palace yet, but they might eventually. And Morg, why are you a fucking car? What do you mean you can't drive yourself? This is just an excuse to have the player in control. This is more or less just a grinding area, but we're looking for someone, and hooray, there they are.
Who are you?
His eyes are glowing.
Are you that stalker? Haven't you ever stopped to consider how your ex feels?
She's my property. I can do whatever I want with her.
Alright, this guy needs to be put in line.
It's not like she didn't treat me like a plaything. What's wrong with me doing the same?
That's not how any of that works. Yeah, this guy's got some control issues. But he does give us a lead on Madarame. Someone used and disposed of him. Time to turn back? What do you mean? It fucking changed. What is this, a roguelike? Oh, hey, a door. Mor couldn't open this door, but now that we're here, we can. So let's go down, and why is there a child? So Josie is just a shopkeep that spawns randomly. Seems to be a Pinocchio-type entity trying to learn about humans via mementos. Also, Stargate. So mementos is the source of palaces, which makes sense. You kind of need the society to feed a person's delusions to make them worse than they really are. Although it is possible to do that alone. Anyways, go home, chat about the mission and the next steps, which is studying. In the morning, Mishima messages us and we go down and see him. Dude's been running himself ragged over the website. I appreciate it, but calm down. You're going to hurt yourself doing this. Go home, study, go into school, see An. She's not doing too great. Could just be the weather. School feels different because now you can talk about Kamoshida without fear of him just retaliating against you. This has been your lesson on free speech when it comes to government. Getting a small lead for a local bully. Luckily, we don't need a calling card because Mishima already put a comment on the site. It should be enough. So let's skip out on studying. Go take this guy down. Apparently, weather also affects mementos, because the enemies can be asleep when it's pollen out. Nice mechanic. I like it. And to prevent you from infinitely grinding here, the game introduces a mechanic of the Reaper. Stay too long and he's gonna get you. Granted, I've read you can defeat the Reaper for massive amounts of XP, but I'll come back to that. Find Josie, get a free upgrade to the Will Seed item we got. The other half of Josie's shop is boosters for finding stamps. Find the stamps, turn them in, and we get more XP, money, or items from fighting in mementos. Morg tells us it would take a lot of people entering mementos to raise security. I feel like this is a plot point we never got to. Find our target, kick his ass, and it turns out he's just part of a bullying pyramid scheme. Some dude is bullying him to bully other students. Look around for a bit, want to leave, but the game reminds us we have flowers. Okay, so let's go find Josie to turn them in. Where the fuck is he? Put another pin in that because it comes back to my rant. Can't find him. Go home. Study. Try to go to school. Makoto trying to get more info out of us. And then it's time for a history lesson. When school gets out, we get a message from Takami. She's ready with some new medicine and don't call me your little guinea pig. I can only get so erect. Who said that? Trek is officially back, but I gotta go study. At least we get an apology from the librarian. Get home, get text from Mishima and Ryuji, both asking to talk to us. But we go through AOG because the man needs help to study, let's be honest here. Well, it's time for exams, but apparently an assembly has been scheduled. Concerning. Anyway, let's see if we studied enough. What do you mean the player, have to actually take these exams for stuff that actually was covered in the school segments? Was the studying just for knowledge points that'll be used later for interactions? Probably. What do you mean it's straight into exams for the next day? I can't do anything after school? Anyway, the assembly comes around and it's just a PR hire for the school, a counselor. Did we not have one of those before? Although I guess this guy is more of a mental health professional than a general counselor. Comes up to us and what is this guy's deal with snacks? Either way, he told us that he was told about students who had run-ins with Kamoshida and told to prioritize them. Mandatory sessions. I'm electing to gaslight this guy. Fuck him. Han goes to him first, talks about Shiho and such. At least this guy gets one thing right. You can't change the past, hence why regret is the tinnitus of emotions. But you must always move on for it. It's all you can do. And how you do that is up to you. Anyway, we go to the office, talk to him, and why is her name Student called Yoshizawa? I feel like that's just prime foreshadowing for something. Of course, you were told everything. I bet 45% of it is a lie. But again, he's right. Facing reality versus what you think you are or want to be is painful and it's hard. Trust me, I know. But it is something you should try to do. Reality is a cold, uncaring beast that will tear you to shreds if you let it. See where you are and where you want to be. Climb that mountain with care and realism. And remember, some clouds are beyond the top of that mountain forever out of reach. Anyways, he wants us to help him with some of the theories he has for like his dissertation or whatever. Oh yeah, 5 max SP and a snack. I wonder if that's why they gave him a snack obsession, just to give you items for free. Looks like Ryuji and An both pulled off all-nighters. That's a bad idea, by the way. It fucks up with your ability to think and remember during the day. Meanwhile, somebody is stalking An. Let's confront them. Turns out he's just an artist who wants to paint An, and is a pupil for Madarame. Sounds like our in. At least exams are over. Poor Ryuji. Well, we're set up to go to the art exhibit tomorrow. An puts the pieces together that this Madarame might be the guy we're looking for. You think? Exhibit time. An instantly ditches us, and we're stuck looking at fine art. Madarame seems like a humble guy at first glance, at least. Meanwhile, over to An, there's one painting she wanted to see, and based on Yasuke's reaction to it, it's his artwork. Not Madarame's. An's mad because we left, but we almost got trampled by the crowd. I mean, look at Ryuji's hand. It's clearly broken. He can't hold a phone properly. There's a post about how Madarame abuses pupils and steals their works. Like I said, called it. Anyways, An's gonna model for the guy, so we got the address and we plan to go with her. Oh boy, medical lessons from the counselor. Funny scene about having morgue on the subway since cats aren't allowed in the subway. Government seems to be suspicious of things going on. Concerning. Make it to the place and Ryuji just lets the cat out of the bag. No, not morgue. And Yasuke, I forget his name, I'm sorry. Becomes mad instantly. Rame overhears the commotion and just waves it off as rumors, because you honestly can't be liked by everyone. Yusuke tells us why he's under Rame with the Sayori painting and all that, while it seems to be a dead end. The app says otherwise. And after a bit of guess and check, we get into the palace, and holy fuck, this is one gaudy ass museum. Well, we're here. Time to get inside. Too bad that crowd's there. If only there was an obvious way in. Like this conveniently placed van and lowered wall section. Damn. Run around the outside, find a skylight, but how are we going to get back out? Morg has a rope. I wonder if he also has lamp oil and bombs. We are met with a wing of the museum just filled with portraits and plaques stating the name and age of the people inside. We come across one of the guy who first gave us the lead for Madarame. Shortly after that, we find Yusuke's confirming that these are in fact all paintings of Madarame's pupils. It's noted that these paintings are all in the same style, likely a hint towards the fact that Madarame plagiarizes and he can't paint differently. Anyways, we got a half map because a full map would be too easy. From a statue, we find that Madarame treats his pupils as idea machines, more or less, taking and taking till he can't take no more, throwing them away, not even thinking them as true artists. For now, we head home. An brings up the point that if Rame's not doing anything evil right now, is he even worth going after in the turning hearts type of sense? And yeah, that makes sense. We need more info. Let's see what Yusuke says. Ryuji thinks Yasuke sees us as thugs, and yeah, you were super aggressive there, boss, when we first met him at his house. So I can't blame him, but we'll fix it. To be an art model, all you have to do is just sit there and look pretty. At least we're going over there after school. Too bad we might be getting eavesdropped on. To the train station, and I agree that Yusuke is likely protecting Madarame. Get over to Yusuke's studio, and Ryuji, can you learn the definition of subtlety, please? Anyway, bro locks in, starts painting, so we just send Morg to go look around the house. He finds a locked door, which is interesting. Yusuke must be a perfectionist because he gives up after a few hours, so we rail into him, and he admits that the painting at the exhibit was his. He tries dodging the question. The thing is, I gotta say he's at least kinda right in the way it's phrased here to me. Since he offered his ideas, it's not 100% plagiarism, mainly because we're only talking about paintings here. You can give two artists the same painting of Mount Fuji in a thunderstorm, and they're going to be completely different things. Shit's in the fan. Man's gonna call the police on us unless An continues to model. Nude model. Never understood nude art as like a classy thing. I can get pornography, but meanwhile, An is pissed, but Yusuke, knowing he holds all the cards here, just calmly moves on with the conversation. Outside, An is still freaking out, as she should be, but we gotta figure out what to do. New hideout, go back into the palace and do this before Yusuke has to submit a new piece to avoid inconveniences. Meanwhile, the journalist comes up to us asking if we know anything about the Suiore being stolen. Well, we don't, so she gives us her info and leaves. Mishima tells us one of the formal pupils wants to talk to us. Meanwhile, Ryuji digging up a suicide of a different formal pupil, of course. We meet up with Nakanohara. I'm gonna butcher every name in this, I just know. Who confirms to us that Rame is stealing his pupil's work and that this did in fact cause one of his pupils to kill himself. Ohara wants us to change Madarame's heart for Yusuke's sake. Rame took in Yusuke after Yusuke's mother's passed, and he feels so indebted to him that he can't leave even though he wants to. We all agree we gotta go into the palace and change Madarame's heart. We just gotta stay out of trouble till then. Time limit set. On really not wanting to fail this? Check. Game giving us a hint that is blatant foreshadowing? Check. As we go back into the palace, Igor interrupts and unlocks what's more or less just Pokemon natures. Rame must be getting stressed or something because now we got laser sensors to deal with. Make our way back to where we left off, fighting everything in here. As we continue our way through the palace, Morg gets greedy for some golden vase and trips the security. Luckily, we are outside the trap and can free everyone. But why do I have to go and talk to them after freeing them? They're free. Just have them come over to me and just automatically follow me. Over here, the new code for the system so we can actually get Morg out of there. And it turns out that the vase is a persona, mainly just a EXP bomb and fusion material for high-level fusions, but you need high security for it to spawn more often, which is weird because this is like a stealth game, technically. Get briefly caught on floor 2, not hard to fight through all these guys, and then find the off switch, avoid high level enemy as the game warns you about, find the first will seed of the place. Yes, I do find the shiny building suspicious, but I also see a safe room that Morg just pointed out to me. Let me go to the goddamn safe room. Just make it so I can't leave. Just don't stick me into a fucking cutscene before I can actually save. It seems if we want to go any farther, we have to disable the security here. And Morg has an idea, and it's tied to the room he saw in Rame's house. Since actions in the real world can affect palaces, we need to get into that room. But we need into that house first. Okay, on. Get naked. This is where I'll play the Florka Pan noises. You know, this meme. On's hesitant, but it must be done. Yusuke's suspicious of On changing her mind, but just reminds us he'll call the cops if we show up. After school, we meet up, and nothing left to do but to do it. We send On over, and Yusuke...
Have you gained some weight?
You can't say that, although I can see why you did. Jesus, On. She tries to get him to go over to the room with the lock, but he doesn't have a key, so Morg's on the case, I guess. On continues to try to get Yusuke to change rooms by being flirty. I think her being insistent is working more than her looks here. Ryuji is doubtful that this will work. Too many things have to go right, but all we can do is wait and see. On has taken off even more clothing now, and for some reason I just love the red belt. Meanwhile, Morg is humping the lock. I mean, he's picking the lock with his peat. Now, this seduction act she's pulling is just so cringe. Meanwhile, Madarame has come home just as Morg gets the lock open. So then Madarame catches us in the act. But On pulls Yusuke inside the room. This has deactivated the security system and we're in. And now it's a 2v1 boss fight. Great. Wasn't too bad of a fight. And now back to On. Rame says he's in debt, so he's been making and selling copies of the Sayori to stay afloat. But On catches On and calls him out. Turns out the real painting is just under the blanket. And Rame tries to lie again, but it's not convincing, so he's just going to call security. On has to bail. We shut off the security system and then bail ourselves. And from the sky falls On and Yusuke. We tell Yusuke the truth and it's just hitting him hard, but we gotta get out of here before we get caught. And we get caught by Shadow Rame and the whole truth spills out. The Sayori was never stolen. It was a lie to sell copies of to art snobs. I will agree with him on the value of art. At least high art is more of an illusion. How he picks up young artists because they are less likely to fight back. Even if they did, his word holds more weight in the world of art. This awakens Yusuke's persona as he realizes just how much of a dick Madarame is, despite taking him in for 10 years. Yusuke totally drained from the fight, but we do get the full story out of him, not knowing his father, how Madarame helped his mother before she passed, how he raised him, and that's why he never stood against him. He owed Madarame too much, but enough of that, we gotta bail. We tell Yusuke everything about the Phantom Thieves, and since there's not much else he can do, he's down to help, but we gotta act fast. Madarame is gonna sue us after the exhibit. Damn, Soji, is the weight of what we're doing on my face or something? Lots on the line. Hopefully we don't fuck it up. At least we did good on exams, get some messages, but we go for Ryuji. Apparently, the new coach for the track team has had a drinking problem in the past and might still have it, and Ryuji wants to tail him sometime, but for now, more training. Too bad we got nowhere to go train, and now these guys are trying to beat up this kid. Ryuji's not standing for it. He just wants to put it all in the past. I still don't see to what end during all the Kamoshida bullshit was for. I get toxic relationships exist, and those get abusive, but those have some sort of compassionate false love that the victim gets out of it. Here, you just have a grown man beating up high schoolers. I'm probably just stupid. At least Ryoji feels better about all this. While he goes on and investigates Yamauchi, we're gonna go make some coffee. And oh boy, a history lesson about shapes. Y'all like 16 by 9, 16 by 10, 21 by 9 aspect ratios? Or are you a boomer and you like 4 by 3? Or are you a zoomer and you gotta have that 9 by 16 vertical resolution? Yeah, I see you over there, Dave. After school, we head over to Takamaki's clinic to test her new medicine, pass the fuck out, as normal. Why are the cops here? What did you give me? Lie to the cops, as one does. At least she makes sure we get home, okay? Morgue? Shut up. I don't think my guts are even high enough for that. Ryuji has really been investigating and now wants us to eavesdrop on Yama, since if he did it, he would be recognized. But that's for later. No, it's not. We never get to that point. I told you our guts wasn't high enough, Morgue. I get the game reminding you of things. It's helpful, but not when I can't do anything. Anyways, over to our part-time job, which is how you improve charm. I fully expected a minigame. Maybe if we did more, we'd get to do talking segments or something. Brew some coffee and into the next day. Yusuke wants to move things up. Madarame was talking with his lawyer and is serious about suing. Meanwhile, we learn about synesthesia. I always remember what that is thanks to Lulu from League of Legends. Yeah, that tasted purple. It's just mixing of the senses. Meet up with the crew, tell Yusuke, how things work and how Persona users can't have palaces since we have accepted our inner selves. Anyways, into the metaverse since we have 5 people. For gameplay reasons, we have to pick 4 to fight, and Morg lies to us about the 5th being backup. Igor gives us side quests to find certain personas. I just find it annoying since we can't just hold on to personas. It feels like even more limiting if we wanted to do these quests because we don't have the space. Anyways, back to it, into the second half, dodging super strong guy, finding a map, run around for a bit, lasers, you know, the drill, up until we're forced into a mini boss fight. Can't do anything in the security office without code, but we do over here where it might be from the guards. Where the fuck do these persona guards even come from? Are they like Madarame's subconscious or something? Anyways, to the statue, read the plaque near his feet, which gives us the code in a fashion I wish it just didn't, and I'd rather try to figure it out myself. But no. Now that the security is down, we can proceed. Or we can't, since we gotta do some Mario 64ing into these paintings. Now it's time for the painting puzzle, where Rame just goes on an egotistical rant about how he's better than people. Ryuji puts it best when he says that Rame was just using pretty words to say people are just stepping stones. And as Yusuke points out, nothing about a love for art. And now there's the MC Escher section, and thanks to Ryuji, we can proceed. Now for the game, find the real Sayori to find a way out of here. I will say I enjoy the fake out of having the right answer behind the wall. We found the treasure, but now we gotta figure out a way to steal it, because the place is just full of security, tripwires, and we just can't shut off the lasers. We can make the room dark and open some doors to let us explore a bit more. We do eventually find a will seed room. a guarded will seed room, which means I missed one. We try that for about 40 minutes and fail horribly. Leave and find the room where they control the hanging art. There's a conveniently placed hook above the treasure, so the plan is simple. We shut off the lights and at the same time have somebody lowered down on the hook to grab the treasure while it's dark. It might just work. Back to the cage, where we can now turn personas into items and finish our quest for the twins and get our bond effect. Back home, we gotta talk to Yusuke about sending the card. In the meantime, we get told we gotta pick up trash. For some reason. Just seems like forced child labor for the sake of PR. On anything is a verb if you believe. Just like how anything is a slur if you say it derogatorily enough. Now it's Ryuji's turn for counseling. While rough at first, it seems to have gone over well. Back to the dock for some more medicine. At least we didn't pass out this time. And in exchange, we get Takamaki's backstory. She seems to have made some type of mistake that cost her everything. Despite never actually being convicted, it still follows her around. Mikoto comes around investigating us again the next day. Lets the mask slip a bit, but it's time to meet up and talk about sending the calling card. Yusuke asks a good question about why palaces even exist and how do we just go about our lives just never realizing it. Either way, I feel like we're too low of level to actually do this, so let's go into Mementos and grind. And this is where everything falls apart. While in Mementos, I realize we're getting piddlywinks for XP, so let's go deeper. It makes sense that you'll get more XP if we go deeper. And we do, but it still feels like we're not getting enough to grind quickly and make progress. Let me remind you I'm streaming this whole thing. Try to go even deeper, but we get blocked off. Fine, we'll just grind here. Well, then I run out of SP and can no longer grind effectively. How to get more SP? Once I run out of items. Option 1. Leave, which wastes the day, and who knows if I actually have enough money to come back and do the same thing again, so that puts another limit on how much I can actually grind. Option 2, find Josie and buy stuff. Problem, Josie is random, and then there's the Reaper. Now, I never stayed on a floor long enough to see the Reaper, so I have no idea if they like follow you through the floors or whatever. And yes, you can fight the Reaper, but that's just something you should not have to do to progress. It is a mechanic to prevent you from staying in the same area for too fucking long. So allow me to get the gameplay loop right here. You go into Mementos, grind till you run out of SP, which will not even grant you a full level. Find Josie, hope you have enough flowers to buy enough so you can grind some more. If not, run around until the Reaper comes and try to buy whatever you can from Josie, whose shop is also random as far as I know. Escape the Reaper to a new floor and do it again. All for not a lot of XP, maybe a level of floor, and that takes a fucking while. This is on normal, mind you. And I am several levels down from a recommendation I saw online. Maybe it was the really hard enemies I skipped because the game tells you you should not fight them unless you absolutely have to. Maybe it's because I kept the security level low, because the game frames palaces as a stealth section where you're not meant to be caught. So am I not meant to play the game how the game recommends I play it? Because the other thing it does more through the storytelling, not the tutorial recommendations and such, is to finish the missions, the big missions, the palaces, as soon as possible. But then it puts a point of no return of the calling cards on you. I think this game suffers from the fact that it's story heavy and leans more towards numbers over mechanics for its difficulty. It's a turn-based type battler. Knowledge will take you farther, but it's not going to take you too much farther. Grinding is a normal thing, and depending on player choice, I expect some grinding in a normal difficulty. But this is too much, and that's why I dropped the game ultimately. I only picked it up in the first place because a friend gifted it to me to play for stream because they love the game, not realizing I abhor visual novels. They're just boring to me. Just write a book or do a movie. That's my take on it, but I'll get the loop back around to that. And that's just what Persona 5 is at the end of the day, a visual novel. The story is not bad. I'm just not enjoying myself here. And I know there's a story mode, but that kind of defeats the purpose of me playing a game on stream for people. To me, playing a game for an audience is more about how you go about it as an entertainer than just the game as a whole. And if I'm playing in a story mode, it's just bad React content at that point. So at the end of the day, what do I give Persona 5 Royale? I give it a visual novel out of should I. If you think you'll enjoy it because you like visual novels, you likely will. But it's just not for me. It's not a bad game, it's just not for me. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed. Feed the algorithm with the likes, the comments, the subscribes, whatever the fuck, even a dislike, I don't care at this point. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, Hans, if you would.
End of flashback.